Okay, is this, the sound is okay? Okay. There you go. All right, you give me the thumbs up when you're ready, okay? Of course. Thanks for asking, though. Get later. Hi. Is that good? All right, we're going to get started. So welcome to email marketing for quilt shops. I'm really excited that you're here. Email marketing is my favorite topic, so I'm super excited to talk with you about it. My name is Abby Glassenberg. I'm a blogger. My blog is While She Naps. I'm also a sewing pattern designer. I design stuffed animals and dolls. And I'm also a podcaster and the co-founder of Craft Industry Alliance, which is a trade association for craft business owners. So today this Schoolhouse is sponsored by Studioe. Thank you so much to them for having me. And I hope everybody received two things. One is a handout, and one is a little enamel pin. If you didn't get a handout or an enamel pin, you can raise your hand, and we'll make sure that you get both of those things. And the little pin is something that I designed. It says Sewist, which is the combination of the words sewer, which kind of looks like sewer if you think about it. So not the best word, and artist. So if you combine those two, you get Sewist, sort of a made up word. Some people don't like it. I kind of love it, so I made it into this little pin, and it's a product that I sell, and it's actually available through Checker if you want to order them. So just that's a little freebie for you. And so now we're going to dive into topic at hand, which is email marketing. So just by a show of hands, how many of you already send an email newsletter of some kind for your shop or your business? Okay, so that's like almost everybody, but not everybody. So yay, because that's really important. Email is a very effective and important way to reach your customers, to drive sales, whether it's e-commerce sales or in-store sales. So you definitely need email, and if you haven't started yet, don't worry, it's not too late. You can still begin, even if you've been in business for a little while and think, oh my gosh, I haven't been doing this. It is not too late to start. So when you get back home, begin collecting email addresses and actually sending out email newsletters. A lot of people collect those email addresses and then they never actually send anything out. So make sure that you're doing both of those things. So I want to convince you, if you're not convinced, of why email marketing is so effective and why it's so important. Because I know there's lots of ways to reach customers today. Instagram, for example, is a great way to reach customers. Facebook. There's lots of other ways to reach customers. You can do direct mail. But I actually think email is the most effective way. So the main reason that I think it's the most effective way is because it reaches everyone and it reaches them every time. So here's what I mean by that. It reaches everyone because people of all ages have email. So I have an 11-year-old daughter, Stella. She has a Gmail account and checks her email every day. My dad, Bruce, is 82 and he has an email account and checks his email every day. For me, at least, when I wake up in the morning and I kind of power up the computer or get on my phone, the first thing I check is email. And you can think about why would that be? Maybe that's the same case for you. I'm betting it probably is. Before you start checking, notifications on various social media or anything else. And the reason it's the first thing you check is because those messages that are coming into your email account are coming directly to you. So they're meant for you. And that's why it's the first thing you check. If you have a smartphone, most likely you're checking your email multiple times throughout the day. So you are reaching everyone of all ages. You're reaching them personally. And you're reaching them in an intimate way, right? So nobody else opens my email account and reads my email, right? That's just mine. So it's very intimate. It's my email address in my email inbox. So you're really able to reach people in a personal way that's different from social media. If you think about social media, it's social. So your feed is public. Whatever I write on social media, everybody can read. And whatever a customer or a reader or whomever responds, everybody can read. It's a public flow. And when you have email, it's a private flow. So it's a very different setup, a very different feeling. If someone writes back and asks a question, that's really a very personal thing. So you really need to have that connection to your customers, your fans, and your subscribers. And the best, maybe perhaps the best part of email is that you own that list. So here's what I mean by that. When somebody decides to give you their email address, whether they're at the cash register and they say, yes, here's my email address, or they're visiting your website and they're putting their email address into your sign-up box, or you're at a show and they're writing it on a clipboard, however they're deciding to give it to you, they have given it to you and now you own it. So that is yours. It is an asset of your business, that list. So let's say you're using a particular email service provider like Constant Contact, okay? And you decide down the road, I don't like it anymore, I'd like to change to ActiveCampaign or MailChimp or a different email service provider. You can download all of those email addresses, right, into a .csv file, which is basically a spreadsheet, and then upload them into your new email service provider. So you own them, you have them, they're yours, and you can take them with you wherever you go until that person decides to unsubscribe, in which case now you don't have them anymore, but until that happens, you own them. So what happens though with, for example, Facebook? If you are working really hard on Facebook, which you should be, for sure, so email's not to the exclusion of other things, you should be working on Facebook, but if you're working really hard on Facebook and the Facebook algorithm, we all know, has shifted to the degree that it's very difficult to reach the people who have liked and followed your page, and let's say you want to start now focusing on Instagram instead. You can't download all of your followers and take them with you, right? They're sort of like in this elusive space where you can't actually get to them. And so it's like you're building on somebody else's platform, there's a risk there. Because Facebook owns Instagram, as you know, so Facebook's business priorities are not the same as our business priorities. Whereas an email list, our business priorities come first. So that's, to me, the most convincing reason why list building should be the first priority of all of the different marketing efforts that you do. So I kind of see marketing as like a big funnel. People come and interact with you for the very first time in a lot of different ways, but the bottom part of the funnel, the very end of it, should be that they give you their email address, because once they do that, they're yours, right? Email addresses are golden. So that's kind of the bottom of the funnel. All right, now the next thing we're gonna do is start, yes, you have a question? Yes?
Of the different types, like Constant Contact, MailChimp, do you run preference?
Well, my business is likely quite different from yours because I don't own a quilt shop, and I'm imagining most of you do. So I use MailChimp. I actually think MailChimp is very robust and can be used for a lot of different kinds, including a brick and mortar shop. But because I don't own a quilt shop, I can't say specifically which one is best for you, but there are many on the market. And I think MailChimp is a premier provider, but that's in my experience and opinion, sure. So next thing we're gonna do is look at our handout. So make sure you have this handout. So here's what this is. This is 30 email marketing tips for quilt shops to put into action right away. So if you are responsible for email marketing at your shop or in your business, then this is for you. And if that's not your primary responsibility, pass this on when you get home to the person for whom it is their primary responsibility, because these are actionable tips you can use right away. So the first one is to make this somebody's job. So in somebody's job description within your business, doing email marketing needs to be in their job description. This is the person who is going to generate the content, the person who's going to write and edit the emails, and this is the person who is going to manage the lists going forward. So who's going to clean them up, who's going to be monitoring analytics. This needs to be somebody's job. So if it's not yet somebody's job, think about whose job it should be and assign it to them and give them the time and the space needed to learn how to do it and then to implement it on an ongoing basis going forward. Because otherwise, it's kind of something like it's a little tedious, it may not be that exciting to do this, and it gets lost. So make sure it is assigned to somebody. Okay, 2, you need to use, as we were just talking, an email service provider. You can't do this with Gmail. You can't do this with a regular email address. When I say do this, I mean send out massive numbers of emails to thousands of people at once. You cannot do that with a Gmail account because Gmail will mark your account as a spammer because you are sending too many emails and they'll freeze your account. So, and there's more reasons than that. You really need an email service provider for many reasons. One is it allows you to make beautiful emails simply. And when I say beautiful, you can use images, you can use little buttons that are really easy for people to click on, to go to your website and take various actions. And you also are giving people a way to unsubscribe. So legally, there's legislation called the CAN-SPAM Act, which determines how we are allowed to email customers. And one of the aspects of that says that you have to allow people to unsubscribe. So you must include that. You also must include your full mailing address in your email. So some people, especially bloggers, they try to skirt around that. They don't want to have their home address. If that's a case for you, then you need to get a P.O. box so that you have a mailing address that you're including. So you definitely need to use software for this. And the other thing software is going to give you is analytics. And analytics are important. You need data to take smart action. So you need analytics. Okay, 3, segment. Here's what that means. So rather than sending one email to everyone, which you can do, certainly better than not sending at all. But rather than doing that, segmenting allows you to create multiple lists within a larger list so that you, for example, have one for local customers. And then if you have e-commerce as part of your business, you can have a different list that is for e-commerce customers who may live all over the world. That way, sometimes you can send the same email to both groups because it's relevant to both groups. And sometimes you have a local event, a local speaker, that's going to only be relevant to one group, or an online sale that's only going to be relevant to the other. So being able to send relevant information to a segmented group is helpful. Offer an incentive for joining, and I'm saying here a $10 off coupon for your first class isn't a creative incentive because it brings people into the shop to use the coupon. So likely if they're at the register, you offer them that. They very well may give you their email address if they were a little hesitant beforehand because they do want that coupon. It sounds like almost everyone here has email. So what other incentives, throw out a creative incentive that other people have used that works. Yes?
A fabric bundle giveaway.
Okay.
And every time we have a giveaway, you'll know because you get it in your email.
Okay. Other ones? A free pattern sometimes can be good. A free pattern is an obvious incentive that sometimes people like. Anything else? Yeah.
And then it shows, so I do a lot for $25 gift certificate.
Super. Okay.
I make t-shirt quilts, so I offer them a free accent border, which is like a $20 border on a $300 item.
Awesome. So a free extra, basically. Okay. So some kind of incentive is helpful. It's not mandatory. You can do this without an incentive if you don't want to, but it is helpful to get over people's friction about giving you their email address. Some people sort of are like, well, what are you going to use it for? And this helps them get over that hump. 5, install a pop-up on your site. I know people bristle at that word pop-up, and so here's what I would suggest to you. There are polite pop-ups, and by that I mean it's a small pop-up. It's not huge and covering all the content on your site. It slides in from one side. It's got a nice big X you can hit with your thumb on mobile, and it slides away. The reason I suggest using a pop-up is because they're incredibly effective. And if you don't believe me, then go home, install one, okay? And do a little measurement. Maybe take 2 weeks worth of data with no pop-up of how many signups are coming in, and then 2 weeks worth of data with the pop-up of how many signups are coming in, and compare those two.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
You don't pop up as soon as you open the screen because that's irritating. Wait 10 seconds, 15 seconds.
And you can customize these, absolutely. You can customize these so that it waits. You can make it so that there's exit intent. So as the cursor goes up toward that little tab to close the tab, that's when the pop-up comes up. So there are ways to customize a pop-up so it's not rude, it's polite, and they're really effective. You will see your signups go way up, I guarantee you. But let me know if that doesn't happen, because I think it will. All right, number 6, put the sign up above the fold. Here's what I mean by that. When you open up your website, this is for website signups, when you open up your website, before you have to scroll. You want to have your sign up before scrolling. So it should be bold, it should be big. If it's not on a pop-up, that's the boldest and biggest, then at least it should be on the sidebar in a very easy way for people to access. 7, use strong opt-in language. So tell people specifically what they will be getting when they put their email in this box. And use affirmative, strong, actionable words. So I send an email newsletter every Wednesday morning, and it goes out to a large number of people, and my sign-up language says, get the best in sewing, blogging, and small business right in your inbox each week. So you know exactly what you will be receiving. So sign up is not enough. Give us a little bit more, okay? 8, add an opt-in to your email signature. And by this, I mean your regular email that you send out to your kids' teachers and to your soccer team and whoever else, to your friends. Just at the bottom of it, where you have your name, you can add, in most email programs, a little email signature. I have one on mine. And just put, sign up for my newsletter and put a little link there. Make it a hyperlink or put a link there. You never know who is interested in what it is that you do. You never know. Could be kids, teachers are interested. Lots of people are interested. So you want it to be everywhere. Okay, 9, speaking of being everywhere, we're going to try to convert all of those Facebook fans and followers who we're now unable to reach unless we start paying into email subscribers. So periodically, we want to try to really make an effort to do that. You can have a sign up button on Facebook. Facebook has that, but a lot of people kind of skip over it. Frankly, when they're on Facebook, they just sort of don't see it. So why not make a graphic and a caption that encourages people, hey, did you know our shop sends out an email newsletter every Monday and Thursday or whatever. Get whatever it is you're offering and give them the link periodically. Same thing with number 10, Instagram followers. Instagram also has an algorithm, somewhat newer, but everyone who follows you on Instagram is no longer seeing what you have posted. We want to convert those Instagram followers. So you're going to make a really nice graphic, and then you can either do a text overlay on the graphic or do it in the caption and talk about your email newsletter, how often it goes out, what people will get. And then you get that one link on Instagram, right? You get your profile link. You get one link. For the day, change your link to the email sign-up form so that they can click right there and sign up. So try to convert them. Okay, number 11, we're on page 2. Encourage current subscribers to forward the email to their friends. So sometimes people feel hesitant, like, can I forward this to someone? Is that cheating? Or how do I do that? So at the bottom of my template, I've created a template in my email service provider, which makes it much easier to sit down and write an email because the template's already there, so I already know what I need and I can just sit down and fill it in basically. At the bottom of the template, there's kind of some permanent text down there that says, do you know someone else who might like this newsletter? Forward it to them, and then I give them, they can subscribe right here, and then give them the link so that they can subscribe, right? Word of mouth recommendations are really powerful, we all know that. So 12, don't worry about spamming people. This is the biggest concern I think people have, especially small business owners. Like, these people have given me their email address, they trust me, they like my business. If I send them an email, they're gonna be super annoyed because they've already gotten 10 emails today from Old Navy and 10 other ones from The Gap and 10 from Pottery Barn, and I don't wanna be added to that list of stupid, annoying spammers who are constantly barraging me with email, and so I don't wanna send them anything. Or I only wanna contact them once a month, right? Like, that will be better because then I won't be a spammer. You need to get over that state of mind. So if someone has given you their email address, they do want to hear from you. They might not want to hear from you every day, okay? Every day is too much. But once a week, yes, they do want to hear from you once a week. They absolutely do. And if you're waiting to once a month, trying to be nice to them, you're actually doing the opposite. They're waiting to hear from you. You need to email them more than once a month. Every 2 weeks at minimum, I would say every week would be better. There are shops out there who do it twice a week. Kind of up to you. You have to think about your customer, the cadence that they can handle. Sort of look at your analytics and see. Okay, 13, create a welcome series. Here's what a welcome series is. A welcome series is a set of emails that you've pre-written that go out automatically. And they can go out spaced out a couple days apart, for example. And they welcome people to your email list, okay? So you sit down, take a day or two, you set these all up, and then you kind of hit go. When a new person comes by for the first time, even months later, and signs up for your list, then they're going to get, maybe within an hour or the next day, a welcome email from you. And then a few days later another, and a few days later another, however many you want to use. And here's what this is a great opportunity. You have an opportunity here to give them a little tour of what it is you offer, who you are, how long you've been in business, what kind of machines you sell, what kind of classes you offer, what kind of trunk shows you have, all kinds of information that you can give them over that series. And you don't have to do anything. You can even offer them a coupon at that time, maybe the second or third email. So think about that. If you have a video that's ever been made of your shop or press that you want to make sure people see, you can link to that. So, people don't know as much as you think they know, and give them an introduction. So that's the welcome series. That's 13. 14, email at least once a week, if not more. Once or twice a month is not enough. We've covered that. 15, clean your list of inactive subscribers. So you might hear people who love email marketing talk about cleaning your list and be like, what is that? Cleaning your list means that you're going to look periodically, maybe put it on your calendar to say, every 3 months we're going to do this. We're going to look at our lists and we're going to segment out those people who haven't opened anything or clicked on anything in the past 3 months. Okay, so they're getting these emails and they're just like busy. Maybe that email address that was from an old job and now they don't have that job anymore. Who knows? There's all kinds of reasons that people no longer are opening an email that they used to open and that they did want at one point. So you're going to look through those. You can send all of those people an email and say, hey, do you still want to be on our list? If they do, they can click a button and remain. And if they don't, you wait a little while, and then you just take all of those email addresses and unsubscribe them en masse. And honestly, it can be a little bit of a blow to your ego. You're like, oh, I had, 16,000 people, and now I have to take 5,000 of them and get rid of it. And it can feel a little bit upsetting, but in the end, what's going to happen the next week when you send is your open rate's going to rise. And this isn't about stroking your ego, right? It's about having active, engaged subscribers. So it's better to have, 10,000 active engaged subscribers than 16,000 of them where, 5,000 or 6,000 of them never open, okay? And plus you're paying for them. With email service providers, you're paying for those subscribers. So why pay for something that basically is not doing your business any good? So you need to make sure to clean your list periodically. Okay, we're on 16, don't include too much in any one email. So I often see, especially shops and other businesses that wait a long time. They're like, I only want to send once a month. They wait a long time. They have way too much to say, right? There's so much going on. So don't wait too long, and then don't put too much in there. An email newsletter can be quite simple. It can be an image, a small amount of text, a call to action button, maybe that same cadence one more time, an image, a small amount of text, and a call to action button, and that's it. It can either just be one of those sets. So it doesn't have to be long. When it is too long and too text dense, people stop reading and your message is watered down. 17, link out. It is okay to link to other people's content online. Sometimes people feel concerned like, well, why would I send people elsewhere? If there's a really great DIY or an interesting article that talks about a designer's background who's coming for a trunk show or something like that, link to it. People look forward to finding out information, and you're not going to be able to create all of that information. There's great stuff out there. People will open your email more if they know there's going to be good stuff in it, and that a link is a great way to easily get good stuff. So, include a link. It's okay. 18, choose a well-lit, attractive hero image for each email you send. A hero image is that first big image at the top, okay? We're a very visual community. We're quilters. We want to see beautiful things. There's lots of beautiful things to show. So take a beautiful image that is well lit and it will attract attention, and include that image. And make sure it's big. Little tiny image doesn't do you any good. Most on mobile, Most emails, 600 pixels wide, is going to give you that full length on mobile without having to go side to side to see the whole image. So make it 600 pixels wide. That goes into 19, which is test it on mobile. So in MailChimp, which we were talking about earlier, and in most email service providers, there's a way to preview your email on mobile. It looks like a little phone, and you can see what it's going to look like. Something like 80% of people read email on their phone, exclusively on their phone. So if your email doesn't look good on mobile, you might as well not send it. Make sure it looks good. Test it and make sure it looks good on mobile. I like a single column of text, so you're not having text side by side because the text gets way too small on mobile. 14-point font is a good size font. Double space it and make it easy for people to read. 20, make sure your branding is consistent between your website and your brand in the store and the brand on email. So you're using the same logo, same color, same fonts. When I open it, immediately I think of you because I've already made that visual connection to your brand. 21, list your hours and your address. If parking is tricky where you're located, then give people a map. So I don't want to have to guess and go on your website and find out that information. Just give me the hours for today, for the next few days, for the next week. Make it easy. Show photos from classes. Again, the images should be 600 pixels wide, but people pictures of people make your shop seem alive. Make it seem like the place to be. If there are other people there having fun, I'm missing out, right? I want to go. Yes. You definitely need permission. So yes, you could make it part of your class sign up so that people give you permission to take that photo. You can also ask further verbal permission in the moment as well, but certainly getting it in writing is a good idea for sure. Okay, we're on our last page. 23, look at your open rate and your click rate. This is analytics. Analyze what is getting the most click-throughs and do more of that. So analytics is very helpful. It seems boring, seems confusing, but data is what helps your business grow, and you need to see what people are doing in order to take action, smart action. Yes?
What is a good percentage rate for that?
Good question. So in the industry at large, something like a 20% open rate is a good rate. I think you can go higher than that, but that's sort of the industry standard, I guess, but in email marketing as an industry. But I think you can get up to 40%, and somewhere in there is a good open rate. But you're not going to have a 100% open rate for sure, yeah. And click-through, it's more like 16, 15, somewhere in there. So write a short descriptive subject line that gives a taste of what's inside. You can add emojis there, make it lighthearted, but make it a little descriptive. Summer newsletter is not enough. Give us a little bit more. Less text is better. This is 25. A few lines of text is enough. 26, be sure to give people a way to unsubscribe. Your email marketing service is going to be able to do that easily. 27, invite people to hit reply and ask you a question. So how many of us have gotten an email from do not reply, right? Oh, that's so annoying. And you hit reply and you're like, oh no, it's going to go nowhere. So we've been trained to assume that that's everybody's. All of these sort of marketing emails are do not reply. So people write back to me and they're shocked that I got their email and wrote back to them. So you're a human being, you're a small business, you own a store, make it humid and say, hit reply and tell me, blah, blah, blah. Ask them a question and then respond. The person who's responsible for this needs to respond to all of those questions that come in for sure. 28, include a PS. Everyone loves a PS, right? You always read the PS first. Everyone loves a good PS. So include a PS. I have a PS in every one of my emails, and often it is the most clicked thing. So put some punch in the PS, it's always good. 29, if you sell online, add a call to action button that says, can't visit, browse the online shop. So people will go there as well. And last one, test every link, spell check, and read it out loud before you send it so that it all sounds good. So thank you so much. This is the end. I'm Abby Glassenberg, and I will be here for questions. Please come up at the end and chat. Thank you.